21st, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a Bridgeport teacher charged with sexually assaulting a student, a real estate agent arrested for auctioning off a homeowner's belongings, and much more. Frank Granito joins us with a look at the forecast and later on a Nutmeg sports update, and Donna Lang will also join us to take a look back on this day in history. But first, a Central High School teacher has been removed from her job amid charges that she sexually assaulted a special education student. The Connecticut Post reports that 31-year-old Laura Ramos of Pond Point Avenue in Milford was charged Tuesday with second-degree sexual assault after police said she admitted to having sexual intercourse with the 18-year-old student a number of times. Police said that Ramos, who is married and the mother of a young child, surrendered Tuesday morning after being told there was a warrant for her arrest. She was released after posting a $50,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court on June 28th. Now, if convicted of the charge, Ramos, who is a special education teacher, could face up to 10 years in prison. Ramos has been placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. Bridgeport School Superintendent Arresta Johnson said that action was initially taken back on June 9th. And Trumbull police are once again urging residents to lock their cars at night after 9 vehicles were ransacked and 2 were stolen last Thursday night. According to reports, residents in the White Plains Road and Beardsley Parkway area reported personal items stolen from unlocked cars on Friday morning. A 2013 Toyota and a 2005 Honda were also stolen, but both vehicles were recovered later in the north end of Bridgeport. In addition to the cars, purses, credit cards, and other property were also taken. Police have linked these thefts to a group of juveniles who are moving from town to town through different neighborhoods overnight and avoiding police patrols. Residents are urged to lock their vehicles at night and report any suspicious activity. And in other news, a 66-year-old Ridgefield real estate agent found herself on the wrong side of the law when she attempted to auction off $405,000 worth of property that she allegedly took from a Wilton home she was hired to oversee. Now, that home, located at 239 Olmsted Hill Road, was in a drawn-out foreclosure proceeding and was full of belongings of the owner, according to police. Now, realtor Barbara Morris of 180 Barlow Mountain Road in Ridgefield had been hired by the property company to oversee it. She presented furniture, jewelry, artworks, and other valuables from the home to the Greenwich Auction House in Stratford and tried to cash in on them. Those items were taken from the large home around February 6th. By February 20th, the victim, whose name was not released, became aware of the location of her missing items and notified police. Police Captain Robert Cipolla said all of the belongings were recovered. Morris turned herself in on a warrant, and she posted a $75,000 bond following her June 15th arrest. Now, police said she was asked if there had been a misunderstanding, or rather, police said that the statements that Morris made to the auction house indicated that she knew what she had done was wrong. More on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And in other news, Norwalk police have released a photograph of a man they say broke into a car on Sunday morning. This happened on June 18th around 2:40 in the morning. A male smashed out the front passenger window of a vehicle in the lower level of Haviland Street garage. That suspect stole clothing and fled on foot. Norwalk police are asking anyone who can identify that suspect or has more information to contact detectives at 203-854-3192. Anonymous tips can also be left at 203-854-3111. And in Ridgefield, 3 incidents involving racist graffiti, including anti-Semitic symbols and statements discovered on June 14th in Ballard Park, have happened in town over the past 8 months. Ridgefield police have no leads on those 3 cases and won't comment if the incidents are related to one another. Well, with no way of thwarting future incidents in town, the Ridgefield Board of Selectmen are turning to the possibility of installing cameras in the park. The item has been scheduled for discussion on a selectmen's agenda tonight, and you can get more on that at theridgefieldpress.com. And in other news, Stratford will not have a new town budget when the fiscal year starts on July 1st. After more than an hour of caucusing and debating, the Stratford Town Council ended Monday's special meeting without passing a budget for the 2017-2018 fiscal year. No vote was taken on Mayor John Harkin's proposed $219.3 million proposal. Instead, a motion to adjourn was made, seconded, and approved unanimously, ending a nearly 2-hour meeting without a vote on any spending plan. One councilor said after the adjournment adjournment that it appears the council will not reconvene before July 1st, which is the start of the town's new fiscal year. It was unlikely to approve a plan presented by Harkins, and any plan approved by the 6 hardliners likely would face a veto, as did a pair of plans passed with 6 votes on May 17th and then again on June 12th. Because of that, Stratford will operate under the same $215.3 million spending plan it currently uses, though it will have to account for some increases to pay for contractual obligations on the municipal side and Board of Education salaries. But there is a lot more on that story at StratfordStar.com. And in other news, many children in Lower Fairfield County get 1 to 2 free meals a day while at school. But during the summer months, parents are responsible for getting those meals for their children, and many go hungry. Well, the Food Bank of Lower Fairfield County works with over 80 agencies and programs, including Person to Person in Darien. And it's their mission to keep kids safe and hunger-free during the summer months. Now, locals can support the cause of feeding children at Palmer's Market in Darien. Customers are urged to purchase a $10 grocery bag filled with a fun selection of snacks and easy-to-prepare foods. The items inside will change weekly depending on what is needed at the food bank, and they'll be providing all the items at their cost. You can find the bags in the back of Palmer's Market starting July 1st. You can bring a bag to the register, pay, and the food bank will pick it up. And if you can't make it to Palmer's Market, you can call and they'll make the donation for you. But let's switch gears now. Throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. It is much nicer out today than we've seen in the past couple of days. We're looking at on and off periods of clouds with temperatures right back into the mid-80s. Breezier out with wind gusts between 15 to 18 miles per hour for most of the day. And not as humid out with only 50% humidity through the late afternoon. There is a chance of a passing shower or thunderstorm this evening, but it should be a cool and clear night with temperatures in the mid-60s carrying into Thursday morning. Less humid conditions again tomorrow, a high of 82 with a mix of sun and clouds into the early evening. There'll be increasing cloud cover starting tomorrow afternoon. Maybe tomorrow evening, humidity levels are going to start to climb up overnight. It's going to be warmer, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid to high 70s as we head for Friday. And then that overnight humidity will carry into Friday. It's going to be much warmer at the end of the week. An expected high of 91. We're looking at variable cloudiness through the early afternoon. Cloud cover increasing again on Friday evening. It'll be muggy overnight, and we're going to see some on and off thunderstorms and showers that will carry into Saturday morning. But it should clear up by the midday, and we will be able to enjoy this weekend compared to the tough one we had last time, Kate. So trending up as we head for the first weekend of summer officially.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng will take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's a lot more news after this. Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood delivered daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving one-stop shop for everything you need this season, our personable team is always ready with a helping hand. Shop Stewart's for the best of spring. Find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
The new fishing season is fast approaching, so it's time to head over to the dock shop and get your gear in order. We're now offering bait in both Darien and our Westport location. The dock shop can service and repair your rods and reels, spool up new line, and fill any empty space you might have in your tackle box. Whether you're a fisherman, boater, or beach bum, the dock shop is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Did you know heart attacks and strokes are the leading cause of death in America? Protect the health of you and your loved ones. Talk to a doctor about heart disease. Hi, I'm Dr. David Pazer with ProHealth Physicians, encouraging you to stay informed about health matters that affect you.
ProHealth Physicians is on the pulse of social media to share information about health and nutrition with the community. Get up-to-the-minute alerts, including ProHealth Physicians' news and upcoming events. Connecticut's leading group of primary care doctors is just a click away.
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office. Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month. Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Bay Star and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this June 21st edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. It's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Well, Kate, perhaps one of the most controversial defendants of all time was found not guilty today. But first, we're going to go to 1788 when New Hampshire ratifies the Constitution of the United States and is admitted as the 9th state in the country. This was key, though, because Article 7 of the Constitution states that if 9 of the 13 states ratified the document, it would become binding to all of them. The holdout states, including New Hampshire, were brought on board by a compromise that if the Constitution was ratified, the first congressional session would include the drafting of a Bill of Rights. We go now to 1989 in a Texas case. The U.S. Supreme Court rules in Texas v. Johnson that burning the American flag is a form of political protest that is therefore protected by the First Amendment. Gregory Lee Johnson, 5 years earlier, had participated in a protest at the Republican National Convention where he had poured kerosene on a flag and set it on fire. Now, no one was hurt, but several bystanders said they were extremely offended by the act. Johnson was sentenced to a year in prison for violating Texas's flag desecration law. The Supreme Court subsequently nullified such laws that had existed in 48 of the 50 states. To 2005, Edgar Ray Killen, the Mississippi Ku Klux Klan, who had previously been acquitted of the murders of James Charney, Andrew Goodman, and Mickey Schwimmer during the so-called Freedom Summer, is convicted of manslaughter 41 years afterwards after the case had been reopened. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive 20-year terms. He will be eligible for release in 2027 when he will be 102 years old. And now, speaking of criminals eligible for release, we go now to 1982. This video actually is from a year before that, but listen to this.
Oh no, who is this? Who is this? John. John who? Oh no, not you again. Look, I really can't talk to you, okay? But do me a really big favor. You understand why I can't, carry on these conversations with people I don't know. You understand that it's dangerous and it's just not done, it's not fair, and it's rude. Oh, all right? Well, I'm not doing this. Well, I understand that. It's the same thing.
And that was some disturbing audio there of John Hinckley Jr. making stalking phone calls to Jodie Foster as she was at Yale University. It was on this day in 1982 that Hinckley is found not guilty by reason of insanity in the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan. Now 62 years old, Hinckley was released last year from St. Elizabeth's Mental Hospital under the condition that he have no contact with the Reagan or family or with Foster. That is your look back in history for today, June 21st, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, a haunted house is coming to an underground location in downtown Shelton this fall. Entrepreneur Michael Yakchik plans to operate Fat Freddy's House of Horror on weekends from late September through early November in a below-ground storage space at the Conti building at 415 Howe Avenue. Now, that lifelong Shelton resident has 21 years of experience in the haunt business, including having overseen the annual haunted show at the Fairview Tree Farm in White Hills. Last year, he helped run Fright Haven in a temporary Stratford location. Well, on June 13th, the Planning and Zoning Commission approved his application for a temporary business after asking questions about about fire safety, police coverage, lighting, parking, and signage. He will need to work closely with Fire Marshal's office on safety-related issues. Now, patrons will enter that haunted house on Howe Avenue in a driveway that goes underground between the Conti building and the Ripton Senior Housing Complex, and then walk through the haunted house until exiting on West Canal Street. More at sheltonherald.com. Let's throw it over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And we start with the 115th Connecticut Amateur Golf Championship taking place at Toshua Knolls Golf Course in Trumbull this week. New Canaan golfer Justin Clark shot a 2-over par 146 through the first 2 rounds and qualified for the match play part of the tournament. He was 1 over in the first round on Monday and then 1 over again, shooting 73 on Tuesday, surviving the cut of the 128 golfers, which is now down to 32. The 20th seed in the tournament, who plays out of Rolling Hills Country Club, will square off against Shorehaven's Jason Jaworski, the number 13 seed in the first round of the match play. That took place this morning at 8:20. The winner will advance to the round of 16 later on this afternoon, and the quarterfinals and semifinals are scheduled for Thursday. We'll have an update on how that morning match went later on today on Nutmeg Sports. We also want to offer congratulations to 3 of the Darien Blue Wave boys diving team members who earned All-American honors for their one-meeting diving performances this season. Senior Timothy Luz of the class of 2017 wins the honor for the 3rd time. Junior Wiley Schmidt has won his 2nd time, and Junior Owen Stevens was also named an All-American for the 2nd time in his career. So congratulations to those 3 young men. Congratulations to Timothy on his graduation. Luz will be attending Yale and diving for the university later this fall. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, there will be a celebration of the summer solstice at Latchet Town Farm in Weston tonight. That celebration honors the start of summer, which is the longest day of the year with more than 15 hours of sunlight. Residents are invited to attend with their families, and there will be a bonfire and music, and you're encouraged to bring an instrument if you'd like. That celebration starts at 6 p.m. No need to RSVP. The event is free. Latchet Town Farm is located at 106 Godfrey Road West in Weston, and you can get more information at thewestonforum.com. And the Milford Mirror has a great story today about a grandmother and granddaughter who both share the title of prom queen. Well, when Joanne Seitz heard her name called 66 years ago and learned she had been named queen of the junior prom at her Milford High School, she was speechless. And she was equally thrilled when she got word several weeks ago that her granddaughter, Quinn Lofthouse, carried on the tradition and was crowned queen of her junior class in Milford. Like grandmother, like granddaughter. Well, Joanne attended Milford High School, which closed in 1983, replaced by Jonathan Law and foreign high schools as the city's public high schools. Quinn attends foreign high school. But there's a lot more on their story at milfordmirror.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap the top stories we're following today, as well as give you some breaking news coming out of Ridgefield after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Drive and Discover event. Now through June 30th.
You don't have to go far for authentic Neapolitan cuisine and renowned wood-fire pizza. Pizzeria Loretano of Bethel is a contemporary Italian bistro, specializing in authentic wood-fired brick oven pizza Napolitana. Pizzeria Loretano was named one of America's top 1,000 Italian restaurants in 2008 by Zagat, and recommended by Jane and Michael Stern on National Public Radio's Splendid Table. Located close to the Bethel Cinema, we focus on quality, and our food is always made to order. Join us for live jazz Sundays from 6 to 8. Find our schedule, menu, and more at pizzerialoretano.com and like us on Facebook.
Family and Children's Aid has been serving the community since 1809 and is now the largest outpatient children's mental health care provider in Western Connecticut. Our innovative services include providing shelter to homeless moms and children, substance abuse intervention, mental health counseling, and foster and adoptive services, among others. Our goal is to provide individuals and families a safe haven and hope for a brighter future. Find out more about us at fcaweb.org and call our Danbury campus at 203-748-5689. A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
Welcome back to this Wednesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN network. Now, in an update that just came through on a June 5th shooting in Ridgefield, no charges have been filed against the Holder Lane homeowner who police say fired at a group of teens during a failed car theft attempt. But an unsealed affidavit in their warrant Tuesday shows that the man was in possession of 7 pounds of marijuana, $26,000 in cash, and a large number of pills and a collection of guns. Now, according to the Danbury News-Times, the unsealed affidavit said the pills included several types of steroids. Police also found injectable steroids, 5 boxes of hypodermic needles, and more than 200 unmarked yellow pills after obtaining a search warrant June 6th. Now, the marijuana was wrapped in 1-pound packets, and the money was stuffed into a plastic bucket. Now, the homeowner, Mauro Trapiano, the owner of Stanziato's wood-fired pizza in Danbury and other businesses, had called police late on the night of June 5th about a group trying to steal his Land Rover. The investigation remains open, Ridgefield police said, and you can get a lot more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. In other news, a Central High School teacher has been removed from her job amid charges that she sexually assaulted a special education student. The Connecticut Post reports that 31-year-old Laura Ramos of Point Pond Avenue in Milford was charged Tuesday with second-degree sexual assault after police said she admitted to having intercourse with the 18-year-old student a number of times. Police said that Ramos, who is married and the mother of a young child, surrendered Tuesday morning after being told there was a warrant for her arrest. She was released after posting a $50,000 bond and will appear in court on June 28th. Now, if convicted of the charge, Ramos, who is a special education teacher, could face up to 10 years in prison. She's been placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. Bridgeport School Superintendent Aresta Johnson said that action was taken back on June 9th. And Trumbull police are once again urging residents to lock their cars at night after 9 vehicles were ransacked and 2 were stolen last Thursday. According to reports, residents in the White Plains Road and Beardsley Parkway area reported personal items stolen from unlocked cars last Friday morning. Well, a 2013 Toyota and a 2005 Honda were also reported stolen. Both vehicles were later recovered in the north end of Bridgeport. In addition to the cars, purses, credit cards, and other property that were also taken from cars. Police have linked these thefts to a group of juveniles who were moving from town to town through different neighborhoods overnight and avoiding police patrols. Residents are urged to lock their vehicles at night and report any suspicious activity to police. And in other news, a 66-year-old Ridgefield real estate agent found herself on the wrong side of the law when she attempted to auction off $405,000 worth of property that she allegedly took from a Wilton home she was hired to oversee. Well, that home, located at 239 Olmsted Hill Road, was in a drawn-out foreclosure proceeding and was full of the belongings of the owner, that according to police. Realtor Barbara Morris, who lives at 180 Barlow Mountain Road in Ridgefield, had been hired by the property company to oversee it. She presented furniture, jewelry, artworks, and other valuables from the home to the Greenwich Auction House in Stamford and tried to cash in on them. The items were taken from the large home around February 6th, but by February 20th, the victim, whose name was not released, became aware of the location of her missing items and called police. Police Captain Robert Cipolla said all of the belongings were recovered, and Morris turned herself in on a warrant. She posted a $75,000 bond following her arrest on June 15th. Cipolla was asked if there could have been a misunderstanding, but he said statements from Morris made to the auction house indicated that she knew what she had done was wrong. And Norwalk police have released a photograph of a man they say broke into a car Sunday morning. On June 18th at 2:40 in the morning, a male smashed out the front passenger window of a vehicle in the lower level of the Haviland Street garage. That suspect stole clothing and fled on foot. Anyone who can identify him or has information can contact detectives at 203-854-3192. Well, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And again, we're looking at on and off periods of clouds today with temperatures in the mid-80s. Not as humid as it was for the start of this week. We'll see wind gusts between 15 to 18 miles per hour. There's a chance for a passing shower or thunderstorm with increasing cloud cover later on this evening, but it should be a cool and clear night around Fairfield County with temperatures in the mid-60s. Tomorrow will be less humid again, a high of 82, more sun and clouds mixed in through the day. Increasing cloud cover later on. Humidity levels are going to start to climb, but no chance of rain as it's just going to be warmer overnight with mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the mid to high 70s before Friday, and that humidity is going to carry into Friday. Temperatures back on the rise at the end of the week. Could see a high as upwards of 92, 93 degrees. Variable cloudiest through the afternoon. Cloud cover increasing again later on, and there'll be some passing thunderstorms and showers Friday night that carry into Saturday morning, but it should clear up for that first weekend of summer. That'll do it for this weather update. We'll see you at Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. Go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. And CT Polls coming up at 12:30, as Frank said, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, and we'll see you for your coffee break tomorrow at 11. Have a great day.